Hey everyone, I am finally doing a video. It's been a while. I wanted to talk about something a little new, and I'm kind of introducing this, and this kind of like the introduction video. So, I want to talk about my Vedic astrology or Vedic human design, and Vedic uses sidereal, although there are many different sidereals, and I'm not talking about cosmic human design. I'm not talking about true sidereal human design or sidereal human design. I'm familiar with both of those. I've looked at those charts, and I've ran my Vedic human design. And the reason why I go with the Vedic is because I studied Vedic astrology before coming into Western astrology and then human design. Now, the Vedic astrology, or human design, well, Vedic astrology, Jyotish is the other name, it uses the Lahiri Ayan Masa. I do not know how to pronounce that. I have a really hard time with pronouncing certain words from other cultures. But most Vedic astrologers use the Lahiri system. And it is sidereal, of course, which means it goes by the where the stars are instead of through the tropical, which starts with Aries. Anyways, I'm not getting into all that. I just wanted to open up the dialogue and kind of share why I'm looking at this. So, one of the things that I have, and others probably have come across this too, when looking at our human design from a sidereal viewpoint, when that was discussed many years ago, and there has been some stuff that's been shared around, I really believe that it was talking about it from the Vedic human, or the Vedic perspective, because of the fact that the lunar mansions, the lunar part of astrology and human design is from Vedic astrology. And Vedic astrology has been proven time and time again. So, yeah. So in Vedic astrology, the things that I started noticing, and I didn't really start noticing these so much as after my Chiron return. I'm a 3-5 manifesting generator for anybody who's curious, and I really do believe, based on my experience, that which I have personal view, for those who know what that is, I have personal view, my motivation is desire. So through my experience, is how I learn and grow and share, of course. So what I noticed, so part of what I was going to say was that I really feel like I have a tripart life, like the sixth line. And I do remember reading or hearing, where I'll talk about this a long time ago, about the third line being able to like transcend to the sixth line. And I could totally see that in my own life even. So I noticed a year into my human design, or my year into Chiron return, how I started like actually living along with my regular human design, not separate or different, my Vedic astrology. So, but I've also seen some parts of it over my life. The profile that I have happens to be the 2-4 profile, which makes absolute sense. And I'm married to a 2-4. Did I say 2-5? If so, I meant 2-4. So the 2-4 profile, and the motivation is hope. And I have always been a pretty hopeful person. optimistic, hopefully everything's going to go good type thing. So, but I've noticed that more, and in my Chiron return, I happen to have the hope motivation. So it's kind of cool. But a year into my Chiron return, I struck a bargain with my husband. And I realized after that, I was like, oh my gosh, like I have that channel. Okay, so I have the 3420. No, not the 3420, my bad. The 3740 in my Vedic Human Design. I have the cross of planning in my Vedic Human Design. So it's quite interesting. So emotionally defined, I do wait out things at 2-4-ness. I kind of hang out in my own environment, do my thing. People recognize me, they call me out, they see the talent that I have. And then I end up networking and or connecting with others through networks, which has been happening. And yeah, so it's just really fascinating to consider what is it like to kind of look at your Vedic astrology chart alongside or a layer over my regular astrology, along with too. I mean, for those who don't know, I also use my solar, well, what's called a post-solar layer over my human design chart as well, because it adds for me the channel of shock initiation. Yeah, it adds the 51. My Mercury ends up in 51, and the other cool thing, do I want to say this now? No, I'll save that for another video because I'm talking about the Vedic astrology layer in this one. So have you looked at your Vedic astrology yet, or your Vedic human design along with your regular human design? I know a lot of people have been looking at their cosmic human design chart. I know a lot of people have been looking at their true sidereal real chart through like the system that Ethan puts out, which is really cool. So I'm curious to connect with or, come across others who have looked at their Vedic astrology. I know one person who has reached out to me, and the chart was a little different. So I let her know that if you are really looking at it from a regular Vedic perspective, that the setting in your genetic matrix would be the Lahiri setting in order to correctly look at that from the Vedic astrology viewpoint. Now remember too, Vedic astrology does not use the outer planets. However, it's really cool that we have those in our human design chart, even when we are looking at our Vedic astrology. So please do comment below if that is something that you are already doing. I would love to know of others who are. Maybe creating a group would be something that would be beneficial. I'm open to that. I currently have my intuitive human design group, and that's another place, of course, that we could talk about stuff like that. But I realize that there are going to be people who may come from Vedic astrology into human design and would like to be able to continue using their Vedic astrology, but in the human design system. So if you are one of those and you would like to have your chart drawn up for that, and you don't currently have the genetic matrix software, reach out, let me know. I will be more than happy to run your chart for you and share that with you. I would need your email address, and anybody can email me directly at intuitivehumandesign@gmail.com. So thank you and have a wonderful day.